Vasudevaya. I offer my humble obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udiraye. Before reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Govardhanam dharam vande gopala goparupinam gokula utsavameshanam govindam gopika priyam vande navaghana shama dvibhujam muralidharam pitambaradharam devam shantam purushottamam. Hare Krishna, thank you so much for joining in this daily, not weekly, Nityam reading of Śrīmad-Bhagavad Gita and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So yesterday we completed Canto 7, last chapter, last verse of Canto 7, chapter 15, text 80. We read that. So, and on Sunday, or I think on Saturday, we read the first 8 verses of the prayers of Lord Brahma. So if everyone is okay, we can complete those prayers in the next couple of days, since it's Purushottama month going on, and it's very auspicious and recommended to read those prayers. And then after those, we can move to Canto 8. Is it okay for everyone?
Yes.
Okay, so with your prayers and blessings, we will start the next Canto 10, chapter 14. So this is the prayers of Lord Brahma from text number 1 onwards. And we read till text number 8 yesterday, not yesterday, but on Sunday or Saturday. So just to give a very brief outline, Lord Brahma was trying to test Kṛṣṇa. And there's a very nice chapter in Kṛṣṇa book also, which says that glowworm in front of sun. What can a glowworm do in front of sun? So Brahma's intelligence, Brahma knowledge is like glowworm, and Kṛṣṇa is like sun. So Brahma had forgotten that who am I and who is the Supreme Lord. He was trying to test Kṛṣṇa, and then later he realized his mistake, and he, first he stole the cowherd boys and the calves, and then later he realized after few moments of his and 1 year as per the calculation of the Earth planet, and then he came and offered these prayers after realizing his mistake. So in the first 8 verses, Brahmaji said about the glorification of the Lord. We discussed the meaning of prayer, Vandanam. We discussed about the essence of prayer is from the heart, not just lip service. It's an expression of love and devotion. It's a bona fide limb of service called Vandanam, as per Prahlad Maharaj. Now actually, so after glorifying, so first he glorifies Krishna's beauty by comparing it to the lightning, etc. His pitambara, his cloth, his earrings, his dress, etc. And then his qualities, etc. Now he's coming to the next topic. So let's start with this verse, text number 9. Pashyeshamenaryam ananta adye paratmani tvai api mai maini mayam vitte vitatyekshitum atmavaibham yah aham kiyan echan ivar rachir agnau. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Shri Ki Jai. And for those who didn't attend the last time, you can always go back and hear that to get the context of what we have covered. So it was on last Saturday, it's available. My Lord, just see my uncivilized impudence. To test your power, I tried to extend my illusory potency to cover you, the unlimited and primeval Supersoul, who bewilder even the masters of illusion. What am I compared to you? I am just like a small spark in the presence of a great fire. Purport: a great fire produces many sparks, which are insignificant in comparison to it. Indeed, if one of the small sparks were to try to burn the original fire, the attempt would be simply ludicrous. Similarly, even the creator of the entire universe, Lord Brahma, is an insignificant spark of the potency of God, and therefore Brahma's attempt to bewilder the Supreme Lord was certainly ludicrous. Brahma here addresses Lord Krishna as Isha, which indicates that Krishna is not only the supreme master of everyone, but it is also specifically the master of Brahma, who creates the universe directly under the guidance of the Lord, and who indeed is born directly from the Lord's own body. Brahma felt ashamed of his impudent attempt at deluding Lord Krishna, and he was therefore perfectly willing to be punished or forgiven by the Lord. According to his decision, okay, willing to be punished or forgiven by the Lord according to his decision, Lord's decision. If Lord Krishna does not mercifully punish his devotees when they act improperly, their foolishness will simply increase and gradually completely overwhelm their devotional sentiments. Therefore, Lord Krishna kindly disciplines his devotees and maintains them on the progressive path back home, back to Godhead. Such a beautiful verse and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. So, in this verse, Lord Brahma is coming to the topic. One of the elements of prayers is expressing ourselves, submitting ourselves humbly, and begging for forgiveness. So that's not the first element. First element is always the Lord's glorification, as Lord Brahma is teaching, which we covered last time. But now we are at text number 9. So Lord Brahma is speaking that I was trying to test you, who is the who put who can put the whole world into illusion. And I thought that I can test the master of all masters, the Isha of all Ishas. He is Param Ishvara. He is Param Bhagwan. Lord Brahma is very tiny controller. It's like a spark. The analogy is given. The spark and the whole fire. The spark comes from the fire, but are the spark and the fire same? Absolutely not. There is no comparison of the quantum or the quantity of the spark versus the whole fire. So the spark tries to bewilder the fire or put a spell on the fire. It's so ludicrous, as the example is given. So basically, Brahmaji is now realizing his mistake. He is submitting himself to Lord Krishna that I did a mistake. Kindly forgive me. I I'm willing to be punished. Very, very important. I'm willing to be punished by your plan. Whatever you desire for me, I will happily accept it because I know I have made a mistake. So it's a great lesson that, sincere people, honest people do make mistakes. They don't try to cover it up, or nor they try to justify their mistakes. Rather, they beg for sincere apology, as Lord Brahma is doing. They may occasionally make mistakes. It's a great lesson. And actually, this is the first story from this wonderful book, Disapprove but Not Disown. So that's the title of this, the glowworm in the front of the sun. So Lord Brahma's story is mentioned here as well. That sincere people may sometimes make mistake. They don't try to justify it. They don't try to cover it up by saying no. It's actually not my fault. Actually, someone else's fault. Or actually, they sincerely beg apology. On the other hand, dishonest people, even if they make mistakes, less sincere people, they will not beg for apology, sincere apology or forgiveness, nor will, or they will try to justify that what they did was correct. So Brahmaji is not showing that character here. Brahmaji is sincerely admitting his mistake and begging for forgiveness. So that's a great lesson for us, that you should not try to justify, rather accept that we did something wrong and beg for apology. And why does the Lord punish? Is Lord, not our well-wisher? So very nicely Prabhupada is writing, the Lord does not mercifully punish when the act of their foolishness is simply increasing gradually. Okay, so if the Lord does not punish, so sometimes the Lord punishes. Why? To keep their devotees in aligned with their journey back home, back to Godhead. Like how he crushed the pride of Indra, how he crushed the illusion of Brahma. Why? So that they have a lot of strength, they have a lot of power, and with power they may think that I am God, or they may lose their direction. So therefore the Lords may sometimes punish his devotees only for the welfare of the devotees, not because the Lord is a cruel person. Okay, very nice verse. Any other comments or questions in this text?
Yeah, I have a question. So those who try to justify that they're correct, they're going to be they have to meet their karma, right? Or is that, how will that go? Someone who's trying to justify they're correct, having done something wrong.
Yeah, it's a lack of sincerity rather than understanding. So basically, dishonest. Uh, your question is, will they go through their karma?
That's correct. Yeah. How will they?
Yes.
I mean, you don't want to do anything to them. Openly, they have done something which they're wrong. Now, what kind of? I don't wish any evil on them or anything. But how will they will probably have to go through some karma because of what they have done. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, they will absolutely. Everyone has to go through their karma, absolutely. And what can we do? We can pray for them and we can maintain a respectable distance. So let's say someone cheated us, okay? Someone, you gave some money and that person said, okay, I'll give it to you after 2 months. And somehow he tricks you, cheats you, and say, no, I gave it to you. You are wrong. He's right. So what can you do? You can, bear the loss or do some legal action, whatever. And after that, you will maintain a respectable distance, right? So knowing that, so if someone cheats us once, then it's so that we don't let ourselves. It's just cheating is one example, or saying something wrong, or the other day someone was asking this question, so it just came up in my mind. So what can we do? We can pray for them. So Krishna gives them good intelligence. And just so that we don't let ourselves be a victim again, we can just maintain a respectable distance. What do you say?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, let's read the next verse. That is text number 10. Who has not read this week so far?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I can read.
Yes.
Dandavat Pranam, text 10. Ata shamasva achyutam me rajo bhuvo yajanastva pruthagīša maninaha ajavalle panthatamo dhanashchashusha esho nukampo mai nathavaniti. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Therefore, O infallible Lord, kindly excuse my offenses. I have taken birth in the mode of passion, and I am therefore simply foolish, presuming myself a controller independent of your lordship. My eyes are blinded by the darkness of ignorance, which causes me to think of myself as an unborn creator of the universe. But please consider that I am your servant and therefore worthy of your compassion. Purport. In this commentary, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explained that Brahma wanted to present the following argument to the Lord. My dear Lord, because I have acted so badly, I certainly deserve to be punished. On the other hand, because I am so ignorant, you should consider me an innocent fool and be merciful to me. Thus, although I deserve both punishment and forgiveness, I humbly beg you to exercise tolerance in this matter and simply forgive me and show me your mercy. The word Nathavana iti indicates that Lord Brahma wanted to humbly remind Lord that he was, after all, Brahma's father and master and should therefore forgive the unfortunate transgression of his humble servant. Every conditioned soul, whether he be the Lord Brahma or an insignificant ant, falsely identifies himself with the material world and in this way forgets his eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Brahma, because of his prestigious position as a cosmic creator, also tends to identify himself as the Lord of this world, and thus he sometimes forgets his position as an insignificant servant of the Supreme Lord. Now, by Lord Krishna's mercy, this false identification is being rectified, and Lord Brahma is remembering his constitutional position as the eternal servant of the God. Thank you, Prabhu. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading this nice verse. Now, Lord Brahma is begging again for forgiveness. Kindly excuse me of my mistake. Sincere apologies, not just for a ritualistic sake. Even a fool can understand that when a person is sincerely begging for forgiveness, or is it just a ritualistic show of for apology. So even an ordinary person can understand. Of course, Krishna can understand everything. So basically, prayer is from the heart, not just from the lips. So you must sincerely beg for forgiveness from the Lord. That, oh my Lord, forgetting you, I am wandering in the cycle of birth and death. I'm so attached to materialistic life. I'm so attached to sense gratification. I'm so attached to the worldly desires. Life after life, I have been wandering up and down in this. Kindly forgive me. Kindly give me the intelligence so I can um, dovetail my everything towards you. Kindly excuse me. Every day I am committing aparadh. Every day I am making so many offenses. So Brahmaji is actually teaching us by his example. This whole episode is basically a great lesson that how a jiva can become puffed up by his learning or his beauty or some wealth or some name, fame or some skill, like how Brahmaji had nice skills, and therefore being it said my eyes were blinded with the darkness of ignorance. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya, because I developed this thought myself as the controller. Ahankara Vimudatma Kartaham iti manyate. Out of this false pride, out of this false prestige, out of this ignorance, I thought though I am controlling this whole world. I forgot my constitutional position that I am your eternal part and parcel. I am your servant. I am not your master. I was trying to play with fire. So Brahmaji is begging for forgiveness. So we should also beg for forgiveness for all the sins we have committed knowingly, unknowingly, uh, so that the Lord is very, very merciful and the Lord can forgive us, because we are also misidentifying from our true position. Often I think, oh, I am great, oh, I am this, I am that. So Lord Brahma is showing that with his example that his real Natha, his real master, his real Isha is Lord Krishna. Any other comments? Anyone has any other questions in this text? Okay, we'll move on to the next verse. Yeah, just raise your hand if you have not yet read for this week and you would like to read. Okay, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandava Pranam, all gracious Srila Prabhupada. Text 11. Katham tamo mahat aham kha charagni bar buhu samvesti tanando gato sapta vitasti kaho kedrik vidha vignati anando poro anu chara Bata dha romo viva shayo chate mohi bham. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: What am I? A small creature measuring 7 spans of my own hand. I am enclosed in a pot-like universe composed of material nature, the total material energy, false ego, ether, air, water, and earth. And what is your glory? Unlimited universes pass through the pores of your body, just as particles of dust pass through the openings of a screened window. Purport: in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila, chapter 5, text 72, Srila Prabhupada gives the following purport for this verse. When Lord Brahma, after having stolen all Krishna's cows and cowherd boys, returned and saw that the cows and the boys were still roaming with Krishna, he offered this prayer in his defeat. A conditioned soul, even one so great as Brahma, who manages the affairs of the entire universe, cannot compare to the personality of Godhead, for he can produce numberless universes simply by the spiritual rays emanating from the pores of his body. Metal scientists should take lessons from the utterances of Sri Brahma regarding our insignificance in comparison with God. In these prayers of Brahma, there is much to learn for those who are falsely puffed up by the accumulation of power. In Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Passcode of Godhead, chapter 14, Srila Prabhupada further comments on this verse. Lord Brahma realized his actual position. He is certainly the supreme teacher of this universe, in charge of the production of the material nature, which consists of the complete material elements, false ego, sky, air, fire, water, and earth. Such a universe may be gigantic, but it can be measured just as we measure our body as 7 spans. Generally, everyone's personal bodily measurement is calculated to be 7 spans of his hand. This particular universe may appear to be very gigantic body, but it is nothing but the measurement of 7 spans for Lord Brahma. Aside from this universe, there are unlimited other universes outside the jurisdiction of this particular Lord Brahma. Just as innumerable atomic infinitesimal fragments pass through the holes of a screen window, so millions of and trillions of universes in their seedling form are coming out from the bodily pores of Mahavishnu. And that Mahavishnu is but a part of the plenary expansion of Krishna. Under these circumstances, although Lord Brahma is a supreme creature within this universe, what his importance in the presence of Lord Krishna? Back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. There's a nice verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It says, Chinmaya Bhaskara tumi kiranera kana ami Prabhu tumi ami nitya dasa Charane piyusha tava mama sukha suvebhava Tava namamrita murasha. Chinmaya Bhaskara tumi, you are like the sun, transcendental sun. Kiranera kana ami, I am like the kana, like the insignificant spark of that ray. Prabhu tumi, ami nitya dasa. You are my supreme master and I am the eternal servant. So that's what Lord Brahma is speaking here. You are like the supreme. You are the supreme, and I am an insignificant particle of fire. But yet somehow I was illusioned by your potency and thought I am great. I am just 7 spans. You are unlimited. No one can measure your length and breadth. So just a quick background. There are unlimited Brahmas because Krishna's creation is unlimited, and we know the famous pastime later when all the Brahmas, when this pastime happened in Dwarka, that Brahmaji has come, and Krishna, Brahmaji comes at his door and then, oh, the Brahma has come. Krishna, I want to see Brahma. I want to see Krishna. Then Krishna asks, okay, which Brahma? So Brahmaji was confused. Hey, which Brahma? What do you mean, which Brahma? I thought I was the only Brahma. The Brahma, the creator of the universe. Then to again show the path to his devotees, Krishna called all the Brahmas. Some had hundreds of heads, some had thousands and millions of heads, and all of them, their helmets, they bowed down and the helmets clashed and made a humongous sound. So then this Brahma realized, wow, I'm pretty much the 4-headed Brahma. I'm the least headed in front of all these 1,000-headed or millions of headed. So Krishna's creation is unlimited. It's enormous. Brahmaji is saying, oh, I'm in a small creature in the pot-like universe. So this world is like an anda, Brahmanda. Brahmanda, Brahmite kono bhagyavana jiva. So Anda means like an egg shape. What are the 7 coverings? Earth, water, fire, air, ether, and Bhumira Punalo Vayu Khammano Buddhira Evacha. So these are the coverings: earth, water, fire, air, ether, and then false ego, intelligence, etc. So this is, and each covering we have discussed in Canto 5 is 10 times bigger, and that too is like millions of miles. So, and Brahmaji is a tiny creature in sitting in Satyaloka. Well, for our understanding, Brahmaji is not insignificant. He is the chief creator of this world. But compared to Krishna, there are like thousands and millions of Brahma with thousands and millions of heads. So what's his size compared to Krishna? Nothing. Nothing. So that he understood now. And therefore, he is accepting his position. So very nice lesson. However powerful one may be, if one doesn't humbly submit before God, one will be bewildered by Maya. Very nice lesson. Another lesson: Krishna reveals himself to one who submits oneself with a humble heart before the Lord and his devotees. So one who humbly submits oneself. All the negative reactions of one's mistakes are burnt in the fire of one's honest repentance. Honest repentance. कृष्णा तुम्हारा होने यदि बोले एक बार माया बंद कृष्ण करे तारे करो पार. एक बार कोई बोले honestly with sincere, Krishna, I'd forgotten you. I was just wandering here and there. Now I want to take sincere shelter. Krishna तुम्हारा होना, I am yours, my Lord. Lord Ram also said, Sakradeva Prapannaya Tavasmi iti yachati. Just once said, Oh my Lord, I am yours. Abhayam Sarva Bhutebhyo. I will give all fearlessness. This is my vow. And the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna says, I will relieve that person from the clutches of Maya. Another very important lesson. In pride, one thinks oneself independent of Krishna. Like how Brahmaji got proud. Of course, it's a lesson for all of us. But in humility, one prays and realizes and admits that one is utterly dependent on Krishna. Even Brahmaji is realizing that I'm just a puppet in the hands of you, my Lord. But I thought I'm independent. Actually, that's false. So Brahmaji, being the topmost person of this world, is saying so. So what to speak of you and me, who are insignificant creatures in this world? Brahmaji is controlling the topmost planet, Satyaloka, in the whole world through his intelligence. We don't have control over our own body, or to speak of anything else. So we should never be proud. We should be humble. That's the whole lesson in this chapter. Brahmaji is so humble. He's teaching us how to humbly submit ourselves to the Supreme Lord. Then Krishna will forgive, will accept, he'll reveal to such a person. Humility is the essence in bhakti. Any other comments, questions, additions anyone has?
Prabhuji, one side question is that, as my impression that Prabhupada translated up to Canto 10, is it right? Because
Yeah,
yes,
these are by, as you see in the beginning of the book, these translations and purports are by disciples of Srila Prabhupada.
so from Canto 10, right?
Canto 10, which chapter I have to see? I think 14th chapter?
Yeah,
No,
I think
the 13th chapter. 13th chapter, I believe. So this chapter for sure is by disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Yeah,
Thank you.
Prabhupada didn't give the full Canto 10.
Thank you.
And therefore, if you see in the context also, so the disciples are using a lot of, like now his name is used, like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Prabhupada gives the following purport. So Prabhupada had given Chaitanya Charitamrita before, so that reference is used here.
Krishna Prabhuji, I also heard that Prabhupada also mentioned that, a lot of these I have already, mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and he instructed his disciples to, kind of pick in there. And also, Prabhuji, yeah, as you mentioned, so Lord Brahma, of course, he is a pure devotee, of course, the Brahma right now. So these are all the examples for us, right, Prabhuji? So that we don't need to, fall into the same, same mistake or whatever you think.
Yes, Krishna uses his devotees to teach us lessons. That's absolutely correct. So, yes, that's how we should think. Like, we should not think Brahma is a fallen soul, and he also is puffed up with pride. So, we should not think like that. Rather, I should feel that how much pride I have in my heart, which is not conducive to bhakti. So, yes, true. It's true. Okay, let's read the next verse. Yes, Raghu Prabhu, you want to read?
Thank you, Prabhu. Text 12. Okay. Yeah, there's a caption coming up here. So I think, okay, once again. All right, now it's gone. Okay. Utkshepanam garbhagatasya padayo kim kalpate matur adokshajagyase kim asti nasti vyaptadesha usitam twasti kukshe kyat api ananta. Translation. O Lord Dakshaja, does a mother take offense when the child within her womb kicks with his legs? And is there anything in existence, whether designated by various philosophers as real or as unreal, that is actually outside your abdomen? Purport. Srila Prabhupada comments as follows in this verse in Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, chapter 14. Lord Brahma therefore compared himself to a little child within the womb of his mother. If the child within the womb plays with his hands and legs, and while playing touches the body of the mother, is the mother offended with the child? Of course she isn't. Similarly, Lord Brahma may be a very great personality, and yet not only Brahma, but everything that be is existing within the womb of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord's energy is all pervading. There's no place in the creation where it is not acting. Since everything is existing within the energy of the Lord, the Brahma of this universe and the Brahmas of the many other millions and trillions of universes are existing within the energy of the Lord. Therefore, the Lord is considered to be the mother, and everything existing within the womb of the mother is considered to be the child. And the good mother is never offended with the child, even if he touches the body of the mother by kicking his legs. Hare Krishna. Back to you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So we see in multiple, ways, Srila Brahmaji is trying to share this point that kindly forgive me. It's not just ritualistic saying, okay, I made the fault, I made a mistake, and then there's bye. Really sincerely begging, sincerely praying to the Lord. In this verse, he's again continuing to offer his, the word used is adokshaja. Adokshaja means one who is beyond the senses, one who cannot be understood by this material senses. Brahmaji was trying to understand him through his senses, his intelligence. But the Lord is adokshaja. One cannot be perceived by our eyes, our nose, etc. We cannot perceive. How can we perceive? We already discussed that in the previous verses. Bhaktya mam vijananti, by the process of devotional service. So the example given here is that the child may kick the mother in the womb. Does the mother get angry with the child? Or even after coming out of the womb, sometimes even the child may pass urine on the face of the mother or the father. But will the parents throw him out? Hey, how dare you pass urine on my face? They'll just happily, take it as Mahaprasad. That's what Radhanath Swami Maharaj was telling, that actually one person's devotees was supposed to come and offer Abhishek to the deities. I was hearing this story like face to face from Maharaj, so it's very fresh in my mind. So this person was supposed to come, and then her friend asked that, hey, why you didn't come? And she said, well, my son Govinda passed on me, urine and stool. Therefore, I couldn't come for Abhishek. So then Maharaj was sharing the story and then said, okay, he couldn't do the Abhishek of Govinda, Lord Govinda, but her son's name was also Govinda. But her son Govinda gave her the Abhishek. So it was so sweet to hear, and then everyone was laughing. So the point is that yes, the parents don't take the mistake of the child seriously, whether it is kicking, right, Prabir Prabhu, your son may kick you. Will you take it seriously? We'll take it as happy, joyful, right? I see sometimes, Nimai, Vamsilas Prabhu's son, is like climbing over him in the class, and Vamsilas Prabhu is happily, Hari Bol, good, keep climbing. Right now, so he's climbing up, but he doesn't take it seriously. He's happy. He's not, I'll throw you out if you dare touch me again. He's happy. So Brahmaji is using that an example that I am like a child. Okay, even if I said something, you are my father, where else will I go? Kindly forgive me. So one devotee wrote in his offering, very nice, sweet that words that, oh Gurudev, I have nowhere else to go. If you gave me up, where else will I go? So it's a very nice point. Lord Brahma is actually saying that don't give me up. I have nowhere else to go. You are my real Isha. You are my Natha. I agree I made a mistake. I am repentant for that. I'm sincerely apologizing for that. Please don't give me up. That because without you, this life is waste. So this should be the mood of a devotee. Even if we sometimes make mistake, we should sincerely beg for apology from the Lord, from the devotees, so that they don't give up their compassion upon us, their mercy upon us, their blessings upon us, because we are nothing without all that. Any other comments, questions anyone has?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have a question, but not directly related to this program. So I can ask and then.
Yeah, please.
So Prabhuji, yeah, here it says like hundreds and of Brahmas, thousands and Brahmas, right? So in fact, in the morning, I was reading the Bhagavad Gita. So I have a question about so partial dissolution and destruction and full. So when Brahma goes to sleep, only some of the planets, most of the planets are under the water, right, Prabhuji? Because we go in the body of Mahavishnu, and it is kind of we are all in the sleep state. But I'm trying to understand what happens in the full, dissolution. What's the actual difference, probably? I mean, in the full dissolution, all the planets will go into the body and come back, right, probably? So is that the
What
difference?
did you say for partial?
In the partial dissolution, I heard that except like first in the top three lokas, are outside, but all the jivas are in the kind of a sleeping state because they are under the water. Uh, is that right, Prabhuji?
Yeah, except for a few upper planets.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the
And
actual? That is
that's
the only.
basically the night, the day and the night, the night time of Brahma.
Brahma, right.
Yeah.
So in the full, after 100 years of Brahma, so the whole, all the planets, everything is gone inside the, because Mahavishnu is breathing, so everything is gone. And, again, of course, when he breathes out, again, so it might take hundreds or thousands or millions of years or whatever. So is that the only difference between partial and full dissolution, Prabhuji, or is there anything else?
But I know that what you said. So in the full dissolution, that the lifespan of Brahma is complete, and this is happening much beyond our comprehension. So every moment, millions and zillions of planets are coming, and universes are coming, and every moment, millions of Brahmas are going back. How do we comprehend it? Good luck trying to comprehend it. That's what Brahmaji said. We can't comprehend it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm
this is
trying to understand if Prabhupada has given any, difference or, any more, about that. I was just trying to. Thank you.
I don't know. If anyone else wants to add to that, please feel free. Okay. Any other comments or questions anyone has?
Prabhu, other question. Recently, I'm studying some book, demonic qualities, non-demonic qualities, like fearlessness. We should have. So I have a question, like which one is more bad thing? Fearlessness means fearful, or without having patience? Which one other are developing? Like which one is not good more?
Fearfulness, to be fearful or bhai, and to be
Patience.
not have patience.
Yeah.
Again, it's like demonic qualities, they go kind of hand in hand, like which is more bad, killing, like is lust more bad or anger more bad, something like that. Is humility better or compassion better?
No, the basic thing, because anger comes from the lust, attachment, right? Attachment. If you have more attachment, if you don't get, anger comes.
And then Mataji will answer. She wants to answer this. Yes.
So Prabhu, I just remembered Prabhupada's recent lecture. The difference between it's like difference between wet stool and dry stool. It doesn't matter. It's all stool. One may be in this form and one may be that form. And if you can continue to answer his question, Prabhu, but I'll also take a minute to answer Sudhir Prabhu's question. So there is a small dissolution at the end of lifetime of Manu, which happens 14 times during the day of Brahma. This is a partial dissolution. Then in the night of the Brahma, the dissolution is there, and then Rudra appears, and there's a lot of fire, and even the Tapaloka sages cannot live there; they go to the higher lokas. We read this in Canto 3, Chapter 1. And at the end of the complete dissolution, some of the planets some of the Brahma and some other sages will go back to Vaikuntha, and the entire thing will be like bacteria going back into Krishna's like a pore of the universe, right? They will just go back into his skin, and he's lying on the Garbhodaya ocean. I hope that helps, and you can continue to answer Rakesh Prabhu's question, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much. Rakesh Prabhu, I feel somehow that your question is arising out of some specific circumstances. So if you share those, if they are not personal, it would help to answer. If they are personal, then you can.
It's not personal.
ask.
My means if I observe like past 3 years, 2 years, patience increased, but fearfulness, something will be there, like anything.
Fearfulness of what? Of like losing job, losing health, losing someone, or what
Generally,
kind of fear?
generally, Prabhu, generally.
It's fine. We all have some weaknesses. We are all, Chuta. We are not Achyuta. We all have weaknesses. I have so many shortcomings. So you are a sincere person that you are feeling that you have some weakness, which we all have. And the first step to solve a problem is to diagnose a problem. So you are humble, therefore you are introspective and feeling like that. So pray to Lord Kṛṣṇa, pray to Srila Prabhupada, Abhay Charana Aravinda. The lotus feet of Lord give all fearlessness. So rather than thinking that which is more bad, is anger more bad, or is fear more bad, or is not having patience bad, or is not being humble. So this will not really help to solve the problem. The problem is that the point is that we have to solve the problem or try to solve the problem. And that is to take shelter of those, to discuss. We discuss that discussing these things help to overcome the challenges. So continue doing it and you'll become fearless. And I'm just speaking it for myself so I can become fearless.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, it's past time, so we'll stop here and continue tomorrow with the next verse. Grantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Jai.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha tapasindubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo. Nandakoti Vaishnavendra ki jai.
Jai.